Sagittarius, this is your 2015 September horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com. For anyone who has their ascendant, sun or moon in Sagittarius, make sure you check at least your ascendant sign. Everyone checks their sun sign, which is very correct, but the ascendant sign is also very, for many people the ascendant can be more powerful than the sun sign. You have to see, listen to your prediction and see which works better, but both will be true on different levels. So it is eclipse time, Sagittarius, and the first eclipse, the solar eclipse, is happening in your 10th house of career and social status. So there might be some reversals and big changes in regards to your social status, and it even impacts marriage sometimes, the 10th house, because it's part of our social status. Married, working in this organization, doctor, married with 3 kids. This is the status. Usually it's mostly the career and worldly responsibilities we have, but an eclipse there in your 10th house indicates the need for new beginnings. And maybe not for all Sagittarius, it's not necessarily so, but you're going to have another couple, 2-3 eclipses there over the next 2 years in your 10th house. So over the next 1.5 years, they can definitely be some renovation, some refreshment of your goals and your career and your social status. And basically, for example, when I've seen someone have eclipse in the 10th house, solar eclipse, they've started a new job within a few months, because the eclipse is active for about 6 months after the exact date and a few months before that. So some Sagittarius might get a new job, might get a promotion when it happens in the 10th house. They might get a new direction in career. They might get a new project which puts them on a new level, social status. Some of them, in more extreme cases, I've seen eclipses in the 10th house cusp that bring someone in the 10th house that the worst case scenario, like totally transforms the social status of a person, like marriage or, career. But in the best case scenario, eclipse in the 10th house, I've seen people get great promotions. When I had an eclipse in my 10th house, I'm Aquarius ascendant, that happened for me in 2011. I became from one-man band. I hired around 11 psychics. So, my social status really changed. New beginnings there in the social status. So stay aware about such developments. And it's not necessary that they'll happen immediately in September. You might start feeling the need for those happening. And not necessarily they're going to happen for Sagittarius, but over the next 7-8 months, this can be triggered. Some change to happen there. And at the same time, Mercury goes retrograde in your 4th house. So there'll be some need to balance your personal needs, your family life, with the demands of your career, with the demands of your worldly achievements, with the demands of your worldly responsibilities. Maybe a demanding boss might be putting pressure on you, and this creates some tension at your home. But you'll be asked also, while Mercury is retrograde the whole September and the whole October, to be, is it? Oh no, sorry, that's not in your 4th house. Sorry, that's my mistake. Oh, sorry, screw that. Just to the 10th house when I was talking, just to the eclipse in the 10th house. That was for Capricorn, sorry. So let me get back to it. So let's go to the second eclipse. So changes that can happen in regards to your social status is the first one, and how you present yourself to the world. And the second eclipse, Sagittarius, is happening in your 5th house. It's happening in Aries. It does not impact you so directly, but it's about completions, because the second eclipse is a lunar one, which means something comes to fruition, something comes to completion, something comes to an ending even. And it's in regard to 5th house matters. So maybe some creative projects that you've been doing can start giving results now. Maybe you've been training to play piano, or to play football, or to learn a language. You start seeing now the results of it, because the eclipse gives, lunar eclipse gives results. Lunar eclipse gives some illumination. You find out something very important in regards to 5th house matters, which is lovers, people that we're passionate about, the lovers in our lives. If you're married, that won't be your marriage partner. If you have a lover, that will be a lover. If you're dating someone, that will be the person you're dating. This is a relationship pre-marriage, pre-contract, the 5th house. And there will be some illumination there that happens. You find out something important, something that change the development of that relationship, something that makes you reassess how you're giving love and how you're receiving love. And if you're in a good relationship, it can actually get even more deeply love committed during such a period. It can get more intense in a way. But if you're not, you become strongly aware of what's not working there in the love dating relationship. Something to do with your children as well. If you have children, maybe in their life they have some completion of a sort, whether they graduate, they complete something, or whether they're required to put extra effort in something, so you have to be there for them, you have to become more, you participate more with your children. And if you have any creative projects or any hobbies, or if you have your own business, it's also the 5th house, because having your own business is like bringing your own baby. You have to nurture it, take care of it, you have to put creative thought, teach it, you know, this is the 5th houses. So people with their own business, they can have some peak, like start receiving results of the business they've been doing, start seeing if the results are good, they'll continue on that track and they feel rewarded. If they're not good, they tweak, they change something there. That's why the eclipse comes there, to bring consciousness to what has to be tweaked, some new creative ideas to be brought in to improve this business. And okay, what else? Children, lovers, we spoke about that. Another thing, Sagittarius, that is happening, Saturn is coming into your sign for the next 2 years. I should have started with this. My God, this is a huge one. Saturn is fully into your sign now, Sagittarius, and it's going to stay there for 2 more years. And this happens once every 28 years. And Sagittarius, especially the early born Sagittarius, those born in November, they will feel it. They'll feel it now till the end of the year. The later born Sagittarius will feel it after October, November onwards. But the early born Sagittarius, the first, basically the first 4 or 5 days, basically the November born ones, those who have their ascendant or their moon in the first 5 degrees of Sagittarius, they're going to start feeling it already from September. And Saturn transiting your sign, Sagittarius, whether it's the moon, whether it's the ascendant or the sun, it's about maturity. It's about taking matters in your hands, not relying on anyone else. Support will not be coming from others or not from the same sources that you've been relying till now. You'd have to find new such support system and resources, so you have to rely mostly on yourself. You cannot take shortcuts to success while Saturn is in your sign, and I'm talking about all Sagittarius now for the next 2 years. While Saturn is in your sign, you have to take the long and tested and treaded path. You should not take risks, because Saturn does not reward risks unless you work very hard for those things. Saturn only rewards hard work. Sagittarius is the one that not Sagittarius, but Jupiter is the one that allows taking risks. And I know Sagittarius might be feeling quite unhappy with Saturn, because Sagittarius are people that tend to have more luck, that tend to love new opportunities, that tend to kind of want to take risks as well, you know, to take adventure. But Saturn frowns on that. He tells you, now you mature, you sober up, you do it like experts do it. You have to master your skills. You have to master, you know, this part of your life. Usually, if it's your sun there, if you're born Sagittarius, you know, with the sun in Sagittarius, is to do with your career. You get the reality check. Is this the career I have to do? If it's not the career you have to do, you usually lose it. You either get fired or you get dissatisfied and unhappy because you get given a lot of responsibilities. There is a lot of pressure from authority figures. You're unhappy and the universe puts you on a new career path, new place of work. Or if it's the right place, you can get even promotion now, but this promotion comes with a heavy tag. It comes with the need, with 3 times more responsibilities. And if it's the right place, basically, Saturn tests you, how committed you are to that path you've taken in regards to your career. And if you're committed, or in regards to your goals in life, then after a year, usually it lasts the full Saturn transit about a year. But for all Sagittarius, it's 2 years altogether. So the early born Sagittarius feel it 2015, 2016, late born Sagittarius 2017. But if you really work hard And if you've proven that you're very loyal and devoted and willing to take the long path, the long and narrow path, and put all your efforts, you get such great reward. You build such powerful foundation for the next 29 years. If it's your ascendant in Sagittarius, new beginnings. I mean, people relocate, move, start fresh to new countries. People can end up marriages, start fresh again. People can just decide to get up, move somewhere. Just new beginnings of all sorts happen when it's the ascendant. You start to think, you start feeling when Saturn is around, I'm getting old. I need to do something that is meaningful for me. And because it becomes so demanding, the time around when Saturn is around, you get given extra responsibilities, new duties, and you can make it through with flying colors if you're really committed to what you're doing. So the word that you have to remember for the next 2 years, Sagittarius, is be committed, work hard. You might not feel so, you might feel a bit down on yourself because sometimes people get extra responsibilities, like, for example, in family, at work. If it's your moon there, the relationship might not be supportive. You might have to, your family might give you extra responsibilities, having to take care of a parent or something. Every time is something different, or some tension that happens between you and another person that is testing. But by the end of this process, I don't want to scare you. Everyone gets Saturn transit, and when it's finished, they say, wow, it was tough, but thanks God, because now I'm on this new path, or now I'm way more committed, and I've worked so hard, and I've built such powerful foundation. And many people start new businesses, new careers, new relationships, and they tend to have to require twice as much work than other times, and they tend to be way less. The rewards come slower when Saturn is around. Saturn just makes you put the foundations, and you don't see the rest of the house yet. But this is the kind of energy Saturn can bring. So Sagittarius, get ready to mature, get ready to get serious, get ready for new responsibilities. Some people get new family members, and that feels a bit heavy because they have to work harder, new careers, new jobs, Maybe not, it's not going to start immediately from September, but that's, from September gradually to the end of 2016, you're in this process, Sagittarius. And yes, so this is what's happening for you. Thank you so much, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next month.